seconds.
Okay.
You'll be able to tell on your YouTube link too.
Okay. Maybe I am. I don't know. Let me know when.
You're live. You're live.
What up, family? What's going on, y'all? Listen, I'm new to this, like this whole YouTube, Facebook thing, and Zoom. So please bear with me. I'm not from the generation that went to school on Zoom, so this is all new to me. But hey, welcome to tonight's session. If y'all talking about getting your tissues, I don't know what y'all mean. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But listen, if you are new, please drop a comment below so that we can welcome you into the family. And if you are an OG, an AP, go ahead and let us know that you're in the house. But I'm gonna give everybody a little time to get on also while I figure out my contraptions to make sure that I can see the comments on YouTube. So bear with me for a second. Listen out. I'm getting my life together, y'all. But I'm gonna give wait a minute. Also while I figure wait a minute. Why? Anyway, all right. So is everybody here? Everybody in? Y'all here? Y'all in the house? Let me see your comments below. I would love to see y'all below. Make sure that I can.
You can't see their comments?
So not yet.
Because if you see the comment section, you don't see anything yet, then there's a big delay. But if you don't see anything, then you may have to go all the way in the app and not just in your browser.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let me go to the app. All right, y'all. Listen, please bear with me. I appreciate y'all. I don't want to hear no snickering in the back about how Coach Theo doesn't know how to use YouTube and Facebook and Snapchat and all of that nonsense. I got y'all. So give me a couple seconds. But listen, if I cannot see the daggone comments. Get my life together, y'all. Okay. All right. I think I finally got it. All right. I think I finally got it. Nope, didn't get it. But I'm still here. So listen, we're just gonna have to do it like this because I am still not able to see the comments even through my actual. Okay, now I can see it. Now we're cooking with almond oil. That's a thing. Almond oil is a thing. All right, so welcome y'all. Welcome. I see y'all in the comments. Yo, what the tissues? Oh, Lord have mercy. All right, so tonight's conversation is going to be pretty short, and it's going to be quick and straight to the point. I don't want to keep y'all here. Y'all have dealt with me for the last 11 minutes, trying to get my technical difficulties under control. But listen, if you haven't subscribed already, please do go ahead and subscribe to the AP newsletter, or subscribe to Coach Katrina's page, and or her actual link in here, y'all, because I want y'all to be able to get all the updates that are coming up for this 21 days of why. So why are we even doing this? That's a great question. I think there is a lot of misconception under the understanding of why. We want to know, why do we do what we do? What makes us do or respond the way that we respond to adversity, to other people, to family members, to our loved ones? We always want to know why. And sometimes our why is distorted a little bit. But in this session tonight, we're going to be speaking specifically about gifts, skills, talents, and passions. And the reason, the big why overall, is there's a lot of people who are unfulfilled. And there's a lot of people who have mixed emotions about what this is. There's a lot of people who feel like, I've lost my passion in life. I've lost my passion for what I do. I can't seem to find a thing that's my thing. I don't know if I have any gifts, talents, or abilities. So you've looked everywhere, but you seem to not be able to get a grasp as to why you feel empty, why you feel the way that you're feeling. All of this sometimes happens because we have mixed all of these things. We think that one thing is another, and we think that our skills are our actual talents, or we think our talents are our actual gifts, and we don't know how to distinguish the two, or the three, or the four. And we often find ourselves in a position where we end up overthinking certain things. And before we even go into that, y'all, whew, I didn't know tonight was gonna be like this. I feel like there's a huge pull on my heart to share a lot of personal experiences that I've had in this season. Also in this whole figuring out your skills, gifts, talents, and passions. First, I want to thank Coach Katrina for allowing me to be here on this platform, on her platform, and allowing me to be one of her coaches, and inviting me in to be able to tell my story, but in a way that hopefully it impacts somebody's life tonight. And it's not necessarily about me, but it's more about what God has done in my life and what God is doing in your life. And often enough, we miss the mark. Often enough, we miss the mark because we rush the process. We are so quick to try to get to the end goal that we miss the message, and we miss the process. So I want to start with me, and I want to start with my why, and I want to start with my who, my what, and my when. I know we're focused on a why right now, but there's the other W's in life that we still got to address. My why has been to help people in the world, to help people heal from their dysfunctions, to help people heal from themselves. My what is God, actually. I can say that my what is my calling. My who, people who are in my life. And my when was about 20 some years ago. So I'm 37, about to be 38. I know I look like 55, but y'all don't judge me. They say black don't crack, but listen. um, when when I was 8 years old, originally I'm not from this country. I'm from Rwanda, Africa. And when you look at history and you look at what happened in 1994, I was 8 years old, and my family and I escaped a genocide, and that's my when. My my when is when I was curled up in a corridor in a little hallway, and there were people on the other side trying to kill me and my family. That's my when. Yeah. As I'm even thinking about this right now in this very moment, like like this is real time for me in the way that what I'm telling you is coming to me as I'm sitting here right now. Um, and that's why I felt like such a shift. But my when was was sitting in that little corridor with my mom, my sister, my older brother, and a couple other people praying for our lives. And I didn't understand as to what that meant, but there there's something about when you're expecting death, um, that humbles you. There's something about when you're sitting in your own grave, essentially, that brings perspective to life. And that for me, at the age of 8, was my when. That for me, at the age of 8, was when I realized that my life is no longer going to be the same. If, if God should allow me to be alive past this point, my life cannot be the same. I'm a little boy at the age of 8, and I'm looking at my mom. My mom's praying. I'm looking at my sister. My sister's 5 at that time. She's looking back at us like, what are we doing? People on the other side of the door are shouting. They're trying to break into the spot that we're in, where we're all huddled up, and you hear nothing but chaos outside. So for some of y'all who have ever seen the movie Hotel Rwanda, that was about my country. That was about the things that are survived. That was about that was about my win. And as I'm here at 37 to tell you this, I'm on borrowed time. I am on borrowed time. That's my why. I know earlier I said the why is my people, but as I'm thinking about it, because I'm on borrowed time, that's my why. And why I do what I do is because I understand that I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. I'm not guaranteed the next hour. I'm not supposed to be here. But the simple fact that I'm here talking to you right now is because I'm on borrowed time. And that's my why. there's more to the story, but I don't want to dive too deep into that because we'll be here all night. But fast forward to getting here to America, fast forward to finally embracing what freedom looks like as a child, and still not having much success making friends, still don't know the language, and with my own speech impediment as a child, I stuttered. I shouldn't be having this conversation with you right now because I grew up stuttering to the point where I just didn't talk. Why? I didn't want to stutter. I didn't want to be made fun of. So going through school was traumatic. But here's a funny thing about how God works. A lot of the dysfunctions that we grow up with, a lot of the things that we think are a hindrance actually become our abilities. I always say that what I considered a disability became my ability. But before that became my ability, I had to understand what my gift was. I had to also understand what my talent was. And I had to understand what my passion was. And at 37, I'm finding these things out. So if you're younger than I am and you feel like you're lost and you can't figure life out, listen, it it gets better. None of us really know anything about life. We're living it daily. Dare I say, some of us are making it up as we go. I can't say I know what tomorrow holds, but I can say that right now I'm present with y'all. Um, when when I understood what my gift was, I didn't like it because my gift would require me to step out of my comfort zone and talk. My gift that was placed on me as a child, in order for that to be a thing or to be exercised, I would have to do something that seems impossible for the 8-year-old little boy who can't talk. I would have to acknowledge that this is an impossible task for a human being. So in school, I became the class clown. I became the class clown because I was trying to mask. And this is, this is my why, right? But this is also when you realize your gifts, you can sometimes overutilize it or sometimes use it for with bad intent, I want to say. But as a kid, I didn't know this. And so I knew that in order for people to not make fun of me or to not get bullied, I I had to be the funny kid, the funny foreign African kid. As my parents prayed me through school because I was a class clown, all of this was because I was hiding. That didn't Being a class clown didn't stop. I didn't need to be in class at that time to even be a clown. I was hiding. I was hiding as a way to protect myself. I was hiding as a way to not exercise this God-given gift. But the older I got, the more I started to embrace and the more I started to understand that there's a difference between gifts, talents, passions, and skills. And I realized that quickly my gift is to connect with people. And I realized that my talent is in the way that I do it in. I realized that my skill allowed me to be in the space that I could utilize my gift. And I want to share something with y'all real quick. Bear with me, bro. Let me see. So I'm going to put this up here, and I'll give you all time to read it. Because the truth is, we are born with a gift, and our talents enhance our gifts. Our passion is the fuel that that is used to learn and develop and master the skill. The alignment of the intersection of the four components is our purpose. Our skill is a vehicle that is used to get us to the place that our talents keep us, so that we can finally use our gifts. Now, I'm telling you this story because I want to fast forward to where I am now. I haven't always liked who I am. I haven't always embraced who God created me to be. I haven't always been honest with myself. I haven't always loved myself. I hadn't always been confident in telling my story. But then I realized that the older I get, I'm back on that borrowed time. The older I get, the further away I start to stray from my truth. And often enough, I would be in the space that I would mix match these gifts, these talents and these skills, and this what I thought passion was. Then Coach Katrina could tell you that when I started working with her back in 2018, I believe, it was a struggle, y'all, to try to figure out what am I actually good at. She would always tell me it's right in front of you. And I'm like, no, well, I can't see it. She's like, no. I want you to really think about this in her motherly voice. Theo, I want you to think about this. I want you to look like you already have it. You just have to embrace. I'm like, what do I have? What is this thing that you speak of? I was often lost because I didn't know how to distinguish between these four. And often enough, when we are talking about our why we do something, we often miss the mark because we're trying to put our why in a different category. We're trying to mix match these four components, and often enough we end up being disappointed. When I talk about your gifts, as I put the thumbprint, as I put your fingerprint, that is something that God initially puts in your DNA. That is a part of you. That is something that He imprints into your heart, onto your life. That is something that we can't get rid of. That is something that some people can't take from us. Then when I talk about your talent's the way that you think. Your talent is the way that you see the world. Your talent is your perspective. Your talent is your unique way that you visualize things. And then when I'm talking about skill, your skill is what you learn over time. When you repeat something long enough, you become good at it. If you do something long enough, you become pretty good at it. So some of us have got our skills and our talents switched. So we are utilizing our skill in the place of our talent, and we wonder why we are not becoming fulfilled. But then some of us got our passions and our gifts misaligned. We think we've lost our passion for something because we're no longer good at it, or because we are, I don't know, for whatever reason. So as the class clown, my whole intent was to hide, but what I quickly realized that I could influence the way that people saw me. I could quickly talk to people, very limited, but I could quickly communicate. I didn't realize that communication, or I didn't realize that being able to connect with people in a very unique way was my gift until about, actually, until I started working with Coach Katrina back in 2018. My ability to connect with people has put me in places that my skill level is no match. My passion is no match for that. My talent's no match for that. But because my gift was put on my heart and my quote unquote gift will make room for me, things have had no choice but to work because my gift is present. Now, there's this thing that we often do, is that we diminish our talent because we see somebody else doing it similar way, and we see them not even really trying. So then we go learn a skill to replace our actual talent. Now our skill is our non-talent. Have you ever seen American Idol? And you've seen a long time ago, in the very first ages of American Idol, there was this guy named William Hung, and because he loved singing, he thought that he was gifted at singing, but he quickly realized that the world was making fun of him and not laughing with him. But when you start to see things like that, then you start to quickly realize also that just because you like to do something doesn't mean that that's your gift or talent. It's your interest. So now you got to sit with yourself and ask yourself, why do I do what I do? Why am I a nurse? Why am I a beautician? Why am I a stylist? Why am I, for me, is I'm a barber, I'm a coach. Why? Because my gift is my baseline. All those things have to do with helping people. Again, my talent is in the way that I do it. My skill is the vehicle that is utilized to be able to do what I do. Because I learned the skill. I went to school to learn the skill. So that allows me to do what I do. But my talent is how I do that thing. My gift is what happens when I'm doing that thing. Hopefully that's making sense. If you understand what I'm saying, drop a one in the chat, in the comments below, because I want to make sure that you guys are following along. If you guys are tracking, if you guys know what I'm saying, if you guys are able to, if you're driving, do not touch your phone, just listen. But if you're not and you're in a place where you can top a one in the chat, please do go ahead. I want to make sure that you guys are engaged. Wait, so only two people? So only two people. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so y'all tracking like a tank. All right, cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this is what happens, right? Often enough, we are unfulfilled because we haven't embraced our gifts. Often enough, we are unfulfilled because we try to utilize our skills as our talents. Often enough, we are misaligned because we think our passion is what matters. Our passion is the fuel that allows us to utilize our skill set a certain way. But when we are chasing passion, we miss our true innate God-given gift. because the world has taught us to chase your passion, find your passion. Your passion doesn't go anywhere. Your passion doesn't leave you. Your passion is always with you. What people don't push for is embrace your gift, your true innate gift. The world has robbed us our ability to embrace our gifts. Instead, they have taught us new talents for the sake of earning an income. The world has taught us to go to school to learn a gift, to enhance our talents. But this is not what God designed us for. God designed us to create. Often enough, we don't we don't accomplish our purpose, or we don't embrace what God gave us because it's not as sexy as somebody else's ability to do something. So as the class clown, I didn't realize that I would look at other people who played sports and thought, man, I wish I could do that. Listen, God did not bless me with that gift. Playing sports was my high school career sports. It doesn't exist. There's no, I played volleyball because that was just the only thing I could do. And I didn't do it too well either. It was just, I was a senior. It was available. They had nobody. I wanted to play. Why not, right? But that was not my gift. But the funny thing is that I would find myself in the spaces, even in that capacity, encouraging people to be their best. I was the biggest cheerleader for all my teammates. I was terrible at playing volleyball, by the way. I was I was benched. But listen, you would have heard me though. I was on the bench cheering everybody on because I realized quickly that volleyball is not my talent, nor is it my gift, nor do I have the skill to play it. But man, am I gonna use my voice to bring up morale? So I did that. I was the loudest one on the bench because I realized that everything else I couldn't do. But as I got older and as I really tried to dive into spaces that I didn't belong in, I would quickly realize that this ain't what God intended for me to be. This ain't who God intended me for me to be. And back to these questions as to why. How many of y'all have ever sat down and asked God, why? Why? Why is everybody else around me succeeding but me? Top, top of one in the chat if that has ever been you. Go ahead, top of one in the chat. If that if you've ever sat down and looked at God and you thought, God, like, hey, I need you to do something because this ain't working out. You done blessed everybody else. I seen what you did for others, God. Don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. We missed the mark because we're asking God why. We're asking God why so much that we forget to see the what. When God created you, he gave you something. When God created you, he gave you this thing within you that I heard a story the other day, real quick story, was why Eve ate the apple. Why Eve wanted to seek what knowledge there was to seek. Is because the devil convinced her that she wasn't good enough. The devil convinced her that she also didn't have the ability to know and understand. So she had to go seek it. She had to go eat the fruit to find out. When God said, I created you in my image, meaning I gifted you the same creative ability that I created you with. But somehow the devil gets in here somewhere and convinces us that we don't know enough. Somehow the devil gets in here and mixes our gifts and our talents. And now our gifts are trauma responses. And because we have gotten so good at them, we miss the mark. Remember when I told you that my gift was to connect with people? I started to utilize my gift as a trauma response, though. I started to become this person that would always was the laugh of the party because I was hiding. As a trauma response, I utilized my gift as a way to manipulate, as a way to protect myself. As a child who grew up in a war zone, coming to America where there was peace was scary because there wasn't enough chaos around to make me feel at home. So I started to utilize my gift as a way to protect myself by becoming a people pleaser. By feeling or thinking, if I am able to make this person happy, if I am able to make these people happy, that means they don't hate me. That means there's no chaos. That means there's no war. If I can make the people around me happy, that means there's peace. That means I don't have to go back to that traumatic events that I would relive in my head. Some of us have utilized our skill or our gift as a trauma response, and we got it confused. So please understand that asking the why, asking the questions of why do I do what I'm doing? Is this my true innate gift that God gave me? Or is this something that I'm trying to utilize as a means of protection? Some of us have this talent to be able to produce, to be able to work at a different capacity than others. So we utilize this as a means to get noticed. We utilize these talents as a means to to get people to see us, as a means to validate our worth. And some of us have learned a skill that we became so good at because we practiced it over and over and over. And now this is what defines us. And now we call ourselves by this skill that we have learned over time. And some of us are still searching for the passion that we've never lost, but the world has told us that we don't have enough passion for X and Y and Z. So these 21 days of why is allowing us to peel the layers back. As the class clown, I had to ask myself, Theo, why? Why you always get in trouble, bro? Why? Why you always get in trouble for talking when you stutter like like nobody's business? Why are you always trying to say stuff? Why can't you just shut up and listen? And this was a conversation that I would have with myself because I didn't understand. But the older I gotten, the more I got it. How many of you all right now in this moment that you are in understand what your gift is? If you understand what your gift is, I want you to put a three, number three in the chat. If you truly understand what your gift is, and if you understand what your talent is, put a number five. And if you have mastered your skill, put a number seven in the chat. And if you understand what your passion is, or what fuel you are utilizing, put a number nine in the chat. Three for understanding your gift, five for knowing what your talent is, seven for your skill, and nine for your passion. And if you understand all four components and have mastered all four components, I want you to put a number 11 in the chat. If you're trying to do the math, those numbers don't add up to 11. Don't try to do the math. Please do not try to do the math. If you've mastered all four, put a number 11 in the chat. As I'm looking at the comments, I'm looking at the comments, I see y'all. See y'all. I don't see I don't see number 11s yet. I don't see any 11s. So that means there's always room to grow. Now, if this is something that you struggle with, if this is something that you struggle with, I want you to put a number 12 in the chat. Don't overthink the numbers. Just put a number 12 in the chat if you're still struggling figuring these things out. I see a lot of them still growing. I love that. I love that for you, because that means you are still willing to see and peel the layers back. But here are honestly three things that embracing all of this is going to do. It's going to increase your confidence. When you understand what your gift is, you walk differently, you talk differently. When you understand what and how to utilize your talent, you show up differently. When you have mastered your skill, nobody can tell you nothing. And when you understand where your passion is, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what you lose. You can always get it back. But some of us have lost, and we have this fear that we that we won't get it back. Some of us are still holding on to this idea that, oh man, what if I lose? You can't lose when you understand your gift. You cannot lose when you know what your talent is. You cannot lose when you are willing to learn a skill. You will never, ever lose when you have the passion to learn. There's always fuel in the tank. But you have to ask yourself, well, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing, or have I got my lines crossed? Have I misplaced my talent for my skill? Have I misplaced my gift for my talent? The reason why I was a class clown is because I didn't want to embrace my gift. The reason why I didn't understand my talent was because I had got that completely confused with my skill. And the reason why I felt like I have lost my passion for a lot of things in life was because I didn't understand what my passion was, what my fuel was. A lot of us are struggling right now because we just simply don't know. And here's a realization that I'm having even right now in this moment is that for some of us who are still growing, it hurts. It hurts to see other people succeed doing something that we are also good at. No, I'm not saying that you're a hater. I'm just saying that you're a human. When you are able to look at something and you're like, man, I could definitely do that better than that person. It's not because you think you're better than that person. It's because there's something within you that needs to be birthed, but you haven't tapped into it yet. Coach Katrina once asked me, what is that thing that you've always done that you just did? Just just did. I was like, y'all listen, she made me rewrite. This lady made me rewrite so many things. Just going through the academy. She made me rewrite. Listen, yo, low key, I got frustrated. I ain't talked to her for like 2 months. Uh, yo, go ahead and confess. Who else? Who else was just like me? I didn't talk to her. I purposely missed her calls, didn't book no appointments because I was frustrated. But I wasn't frustrated with her. I was frustrated for the simple fact that she picked it out of me. I was frustrated for the simple fact that she didn't tell me or couldn't tell me or didn't want to tell me what she saw. I was frustrated because she made me figure that out. How's that? Hmm? I was frustrated, like all the way frustrated. Because she would ask me, what is your gift? What do you believe that your gift is? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just got here. I don't know. I don't know anything. But as I started to take a step back, she made me go through this exercise of reflecting, of looking back and saying, what is this thing that I've always done, but didn't really notice that I was doing, and people would always ask me to do it? I was like, I don't know. I would look in the mirror every day. Did you figure it out? Nope. All right, tomorrow. For weeks. Did you figure it out? Nope. You gonna call Coach Katrina? Nope. You gotta make that appointment? Mm-mm. Because I don't know. And then in those times, people would ask me to hop on a podcast with them. People would ask me to get on IG Live with them every morning. Did you figure it out? Nope. And then it dawned on me. It really dawned on me. You mean this lady had been seeing all of this in me all this so entire time, and I couldn't see nothing? So yes, I booked my appointment. Yes, I talked to her. And guess what? Yes, she still made me rewrite it. But this time I had a different passion about it because I understood it. My passion was different for what I understood. You think you've lost your passion. No, you haven't understood it yet. Your passion is the igniter, your passion is the fuel. Once you get it, once you understand what your gift is, your passion about discovering what your gift is different. Your heart pumps different when you finally figure out what your gift is. But let me tell you, once you are able to see what your talent is, oh man, it gets even crazier, right? Because all the way through, so last story and I'm done. Um, for a lot of people who don't know, I'm also a barber. I've always thought that my purpose was to cut hair because that's what I learned, and it came easy to me. Cutting hair became easy. I learned it, so I did it. I was like, yeah, this is my purpose. Nope, that ain't it. Then I quickly realized as I became a barber that my skill that I learned was to cut hair. My gift was still connecting with people. My talent was in the way that I connected with them. So how does that look like in practical? When you are able to mess up somebody's whole lineup and it still come back because you had a great conversation, listen, that ain't because you're that ain't because you're I messed up so many people. Y'all listen, my first year as a barber, Lord have mercy. Mm, God bless their souls. I messed some people all the way up. But for some odd reason, these people kept booking me. I said, yo, just glutton for punishment at this point because I keep pushing your hairline back. But then they said, hair grows back, man. But I love the conversation that we've had. And I love how you explain things. I said, oh, okay. Well, praise be to God, because your hairline, yeah, we're gonna need a prayer for that. Let's put some holy oil on that. Pray for it, because I'm gonna pray for your hairline to come back because I done messed it up so bad. But listen, y'all, my gift is to connect with people. My talent is in the way that I do it. My skill as a barber put me in places that my gift and my talent both work together in that. My passion is how I've gone is the fuel that I've used to learn differently on how to utilize my gifts and my talents, my skills. That's my passion. You can't lose the fuel. You only lose the fuel when you don't understand what your gift is, what your talent is. You always can learn a skill, but your skill is going to be the vehicle that allows your gift and talent to be utilized. Until you are able to figure this out, you will always be sitting and asking God, why? Why me? I was a class clown because I didn't know what my gift was. I was a class clown because I utilized my gift as my trauma response. So look at your gift. Are you utilizing your gift in the way that is actually beneficial to you and those around you? Or are you utilizing your gift to hide? Once you discover what your talent is, are you actually utilizing that for what it's supposed to be used for? Or are you utilizing that to benefit only you? Have you learned a skill that actually aligns with these two things? Because you will always be looking for your passion when you don't know what your gift is, what your talent is, and when you've only utilized your skill as your talent. For those of y'all who have been in a very unique space and have allowed yourselves to go down a rabbit hole of figuring out what your gift is, congratulations. But now I need y'all to dig a little deeper. I need y'all to peel the layers back and really look at this and understand that if this is what God has given you as your gift, I want you to go back and really reassess this thing. Absolutely. Asking why allows you to determine your next steps. If you can't ask yourself why, nobody else can. If you haven't looked in the mirror and said, why haven't you figured it out yet? Don't be out here trying to get no coaching. If you can't ask yourself why, you don't need to sign up to go get no coach. Because you still have some work to do on your part. Do the natural so you can allow God to do the supernatural. The natural starts asking why. I love the question that Coach Katrina asked, and I'll leave the next 5 minutes for questions. So if you guys got them, please put them in the chat. Um, why do we use our gifts for others and not ourselves? That's a very great question, actually. I've come to realize that our gifts were never for us. Our gift was never for us. It was for other people. Because our gift can't benefit us. You're not going to pay yourself to do something for yourself, right? But somebody's going to pay you for something that they can't do, something that you only uniquely have a signature to. There's a way that we have been able to utilize our talents for ourselves, yes. But your gift, mm-mm. Your gift has a different signature on it. Your gift has a different way about it that can only manifest in somebody else's soil. It's the same way a tree can't plant its own seed. A tree is already a tree, but it produces the seed so that it can give. A tree is always going to produce a seed, some sort of fruit. That tree doesn't eat its own fruit. The fruit is for those around the tree. So ask yourself tonight, real quick, do I have any more questions? If you have questions, please drop them in the chat. I don't want to, oh, Lord have mercy. It's already 9:05. I done belayed the point, as them Southern pastors say, Southern preachers or pastors. I'm not going to be before you long. That was a lie because I was. Absolutely. Any more questions? I'll take some questions. If you have questions, ask them. Or if you have questions after this and you want to put them in the chat, I'll go back to this and see if I can answer them as well. Yes, thank you, coach. Thank you for reminding me. See, y'all, she told me to say all this stuff, but I forget. All right. If you are new, if you are new, if you are new to the 21-day challenge, please sign up so that you can get the description as to why we're doing this. And I would even go further. Pass this one to one person, to one other person that you know that can actually benefit from this. If you have friends and family who have a hard time asking themselves the why questions, these questions are formulated to get you to understanding differently who you are not. It's not about who you are, it's who you are not. That's the reason why these questions exist. So without further ado, if you all have no more questions, comments, um, I listen, I ain't seen nobody cry tonight, so Lord have mercy. So y'all can put your tissues away. But listen, y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for staying. And please, if you have any questions directed to Coach Katrina, I'm like, okay, y'all can ask me the questions. But I appreciate y'all for real. And I look forward um to doing this again. I think I have another time coming up. Let me not spoil it for y'all. I don't know yet. But I appreciate y'all for real. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being a part of my night. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your night. Y'all have an amazing Monday evening. With this time change, it's messing me up, y'all. I'm still trying to figure life out right now. But anyway, love y'all, appreciate y'all. See y'all later. Once I can figure out how to get out of this Zoom thing and stop sharing it.